Hello. It is the lower body workout on Thursday, September 26th, 2019. It is about 5:45 a.m. and I am going to pretend. I don't like that word. That's a loaded word. Make believe. It means the same thing, but if you break down the word make believe, it totally jives with subjective reality. And I'm focusing on the good stuff, a lot of good stuff to focus on. Not really, and all the bad stuff is easily ignored in this. So I'm gonna make myself like this. Could go into a lot of reasons I don't like this. Could go into soreness, waking up, da 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 da. But acknowledge those, note those, and let those flow wherever those thoughts are going to flow. I'm not going to even worry about where they flow. Now, here's the thing. The public service announcement. Back to the piece of paper. Do not waste your time watching this video unless you have a very specific reason to watch this video. And those of you that do have this very specific reason, I should probably get rid of the word in my vocabulary. Those of you who do have a very specific reason to watch this video, please watch it at double speed if possible. And if you don't know how to do it, give me a call and I'll let you know how to do that. Now, I'm going to actually do the recap or the syllabus of what's coming, I guess. Basically, it's going to be this. There is a warm-up and a workout. Within the workout, there is breathing exercises. The warm-up is going to consist of no breathing exercises, just some very comfortable, good exercises my dad likes. Those are the first 7 exercises I do. And then there's 3 L-shaped chin-ups, 4 glide downs, 7 inverted sit-ups, or upside-down sit-ups, which are kind of fun, elongates the spine. Then there are 13 push-ups, 7 air squats, 6 bends. That is the end of the warm-up. This is lower body, obviously. So the 5 exercises for today are squat machine, set of 8, lower the weight, breath exercise, set of 10, breath exercise. Next exercise, Romanian deadlifts, set of 8, breath exercise, lower the weight, set of 10, breath exercise. Next exercise, leg extensions, set of 10, lower the weight, breath exercise, set of 12, breath exercise. Next exercise, single leg calf raises, breath exercise, or set of 10, breath exercise, lower the weight, set of 12, breath exercise. Next exercise, which is single leg lateral lifts or lateral raises. Leg lifts makes me think you're on your back. This is something that you're on your side. So, it's closer to the lateral raise of the arms. So it mimics just about the same thing. As a matter of fact, that's going to be part of the warm-up too, but they're not going to be laying down, and it's not single leg. Or actually, it has to be single leg if you're standing up. But anyhow, single leg lateral raises. This one does not have a breath exercise so much in between the sets. It's the last exercise, and something nice to do on the last exercise is to hit a smaller area of muscle and do a set of 15 and then 4 sets of 5. Most of my workouts ends with that. I don't know where I picked up that concept from. I've seen it in a couple different places, but it's a good way to end a 5 exercise workout. And yeah, this is just 5 exercises. Approximate time on this will be anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half. Although, when I failed on the last workout I did, which was on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Tuesday, my workout was, not total failure, because I did that, and there was some goodness to the body. So I'm gonna strategic retreat. I don't know, something good. Coming off of a little bit of the excuse I'm using is a little bit of an injury. Although this morning I'm feeling that little bit of area on the left side of my back. But this is something behind the shoulder blade, so it's more probably how I slept, not necessarily. I only barely feel it. Probably after the warm up, I'll barely feel it, even less. Okay, that all being said, that's enough talking. Let's do this thing. How long of the talk? Oh, wow. You do tend to talk, don't you? Okay. All right, so some exercises my dad likes, and they're good exercises. Properly do them, you probably do them in the pool, but just, start out with some swims, but you're actually standing. Even in the pool, you're standing and doing this. 1, 5, 6, 7. 7 exercises, 7 reps. Why not? It's kind of a fun number anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you didn't see that, that's fishy swims. And then I don't knows. That's a fun. I don't know. Actually, I don't know probably brings the hands out. This is just shoulder shrugs, so it's a minor version of I don't know. The funny thing is I've actually done these before with weight. It's interesting, but I used to be like that instead of rolling the shoulders. There's something different about rolling the shoulders. I don't know what. All right, next one is this. Now my dad does it like this. I like getting a little bit of a further extension out of it, so do a few more of these. It's kind of a natural stretch right there. Feels kind of good. All right, next one is kind of a half of a jumping jack. Oh, that feels good on the back of the shoulder, especially when you go high. And bend my arms a little bit, get straighten them. And that becomes more of a stretch, but taking it easy, and it just becomes this. One more for good luck. There we go, the luck is good. All right, hopefully it will be. There's that word hope again. One of those 4-letter words. All right. Next is legs, kind of a little bit high knees, marching situation. Let's start out with the right side, or the left side first. Maybe right side, maybe left. All right, whatever. All right, so your right, my left. Here we go. And 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7. Okay, now it's frontal raise, lateral raise with the legs. These are the last two in the nice medley of warm-up, beginning warm-up exercise. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's what I'm doing on the ground. Single leg later on with a little bit of a weight on the ankle. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, here comes some fun stuff. I kind of dread this sometimes, because I'm a stickler for form, and maybe in the warm-up I don't need so much form, but I really try to get that L shape proper, knees not bent, that 90 degrees, go up as high as I can and go up and go down as low as I can. That's kind of the thing with this. So L-shaped chin-ups, there's gonna be just 3 of these, so It's not, it's just a warm up. It's just, but sometimes it feels more than a warm up. Feels like something that takes a little bit out of me. Probably should take a breath before this, so. So that's 3 L-shaped chin-ups. Then I've been doing this without so much swinging. If you want to swing, you jump up from here. If you want to eliminate swinging, you kind of jump up from the back of the bar, lean back a little bit, and then jump up. I like the idea of jumping right near the bar. There's a little bit of a swing. You'll get what I mean. The first rep I'll do with some swing. Glide down. See, I'm swinging a little bit, but it kind of feels good. And there's a little bit of just give and take on your muscles. There's a little bit of a, I don't know, there's something different going on. I can't really fully, I could spend too much words trying to explain it. Try it for yourself if you can. It's interesting. So instead of eliminating all the swinging, I actually let a little swinging pass. Glide down number 2. 3. I'm gonna make this one real slow. 4. And that's something I'm gonna do on my breath exercise. It's kind of dark in there, so probably be doing the whistle, breathing out my mouth, doing the whistle. Next is a fun stretch, this little stretch right here. But the reason I'm doing this little stretch is I'm putting on the gravity boots, or gravity anklets if you want to be a little bit more correct on it. The gravity anklets. Yep. Warm-ups are a good idea for me. I used to think sometimes warm-ups were lame, but and every now and then I'll do a workout, this type of thing without a warm-up. People say don't do that because it'll lead to injury. A proper warm-up, in my opinion, should be able to allow you to lift a little bit more. And prevent injury. But the thing that leads to injury with me is just lifted too much. Going somewhere where I shouldn't go, going to my edge. I think I just touched the edge and I might have went a little bit past it. So maybe warm-ups mitigate that a little bit. Hopefully they do. Hopefully all this warming up has been good. But yeah, so in other words, what I should have done when I got back off the 2-week break of not working out, although even that 2-week I was still doing comfort tolerance feedings, I was still doing random workouts, I was still doing single sets of just random things that I do every day, like parking blocks, or just calf raises in different places. Even around my house I got a couple of good places for calf raises. Places for calf raises. That's probably a good thing to say. Anyway, there was a point here, and the point is thus. Warm-ups. I don't know. For a workout like this, where I'm doing at least 5 exercises, but sometimes I consider a workout as just doing just a few, 3 exercises, maybe single sets, maybe just really long sets, I don't know. Somewhere where I feel like I'm sweating. Shoot, I'm sweating right now, and I shouldn't be. Anyway, there was a place I was going to with this. There's something sticking in my mind that I want to bring out of my mouth. Thanks for allowing me to vocalize my thoughts. All right. Not that you have much choice, but fast forward this bit till you see me upside down. Okay. Thoughts in line with warming up. Oh, I did mention briefly the comfort feeder set. There's something called, the best definition I can think of this is two things that I like. I don't know if I came up with this concept, probably someone else did too, but way before I ever thought of it. It's a simple concept. Pick an exercise, do it, grab a lightweight, do as many as you can till failure. So if it's leg raises or whatever, frontal raise, single leg frontal raise, you do as many as you can until you can't do it anymore. That's what I call a comfort tolerance test. You're testing your comfort, or technically I guess discomfort tolerance. Cool, that's a fun thing. And then I was talking to this one guy and he convinced me, he's like, you gotta try this, feeder sets. I'm like, what's a feeder set? And he's like, well, a couple hours after you work out, optimally like 6 hours after you work out, you pick one of the exercises that you did in like a full body workout or a split workout or whatever you're doing. And I guess full body versus splits, if you're doing like me, upper body, lower body, upper body from a different angle, the uppers are different exercises. You're splitting up your body on your workout days. That's simply, I guess, splits. Anyway, that came a little bit loose. All right. So, there is the comfort tolerance feeder, which is what I'm calling, which combines comfort tolerance set or comfort tolerance test, because it's just kind of a test. I write down how far I can go on a test, and then I'll test myself the next day, and it'll be a series of tests just to see if I get better through testing. Anyway, and there is the feeder set. Now the feeder set, like I said, my friend convinced me, 6 hours after you work out, you do a set, lightweight, 10 sets of 10. So 100 reps, but every 10 you take a 30-second break. That is your feeder set. And that's all by itself. I don't know why it's called a feeder set, because it's 10 sets. Anyway, I take these two ideas, combine them, so the goal is 100, but I'm doing my tolerance, my comfort, my discomfort levels. And what it is let's say, back to your single leg frontal raise. You're doing it. Your goal is 100. And let's say you have a little bit of weight on. This actually equals a little bit of weight. What happens is you get to, let's say, 30, and you're dying. Oh man, I can't do it. You finally push it to 33, 34, 35. Oh, you can barely do. You do almost a half rep on 37. So you stop the count at 36. You take three, no more, deep breaths. Just and then you go right back into it. Now, here's the cool thing. You're allowed to sort of cheat, but not cheat too much. A way of cheating is making those 3 breaths last a longer amount of time. You're still within the 3 breaths, technically. Stay within the 3 breaths. But the longer you take to breathe, I think, hypothesis time, I think that is what makes your body work a little bit better. So it's probably good for you. So 3 breaths that are probably good for you, especially if you cheat and take longer groups of 3, longer breaths. Hold them, hold full, hold empty. You're doing all the tricks. Breathing in slowly, breathing out slowly. You're doing this, you're maximizing your comfort within that, and then you go. And your goal is to get to 100. So take a break whenever you have to. If you can only do 2 reps, you're doing 1, and 97, I can't do it anymore. You do your 3, and then you go and you get to 100. So you take as many breaks as you can, get to 100. If you can't get to 100, you'll lower the weight. And that's for the next time. You kind of note it, okay, did a comfort tolerance feeder, which is what I'm calling this, and I only got to 89. Lower the weight. If you get to 100 in the first first set, up the weight. Matter of fact, that you want at least 2 or 3 breath breaks to really make yourself feel this. And it is an interesting feeling. It feels like I'm doing some real good work on my body. I'm not sure. It feels like my capabilities are going up. The muscles are feeling it for days. I did one with my calves, just doing no weight, just double leg, really good, really full extension calf raises. Find a spot where, obviously where I'm going to do the single calf raises, it seems like I can't go down. And on single calf raises anyway, I have a hard time really, really going all the way down, maximizing my range of motion. Both leg, a lot easier, especially if I have weight. It's really hard to go all the way down. But on these, went all the way down. It was a comfort tolerance feeder. Was trying to get to 100, just hurting. Kept on taking breaks. I felt that for 2 weeks. Now, it never felt bad. Just every morning when I wake up, my calves would be like, that's an interesting feeling. I'd probably be walking a little bit funny anywhere, so I probably walk a little funny anyway, so I'm just walking funny in a different way. Who knows? Yeah, my leg likes to flare out a little bit, and I don't know what that is. I think maybe there was a time in my life where I was trying to stretch out, like, turning the hips and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, we're done with those. So, a lot of talking, having fun with this. Part of the fun with this is me vocalizing my thoughts. Anyway, that is probably the best definition so far of a comfort tolerance feeder set. Not feeder set. Comfort tolerance feeder. Let's keep it down to 3 words. Comfort tolerance feeder. Which I think is an awesome idea. And it feels good. And my hypothesis here is those on my off days, my Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday days, every day is going to have a comfort tolerance feeder. And probably more cardio. I gotta eventually get some use out of my trusty rusty old running shoes and get back into running. And I got goggles. I found a pair of goggles for $1. So I might. There's a pool I have access to, and maybe the swims. Maybe. This piece of plastic's driving me crazy. What is this? Oh, it goes with this, I think. Or not. I don't know. Okay, keep seeing that piece of plastic thinking it's part of something. I'm sure it was at one time. Okay. A lot of talking, right? Oh, for some reason that really hurt my back. Oh, let's get back up there properly. There we go. And upside down. Whew. Yeah, there was something weird that happened with my shoulder blade there. And it didn't happen on the incline the glide downs or the chin ups, so go figure. All right, 7 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, hold down on the back of my knee. There, here's a bit of a stretch. Oh, and this one's gonna be a bit of a stretch. Oh, it felt good slamming into that door that way. Oh, that time I didn't slam into it. Ooh, slam into it. Oh. That was a dog's breakfast. But it got done. All right, a new add-on to the warm-up. I'm going to do a few arm circles. Oh, yeah, got a little snap, crackle, and pop action going on there. It's good. All right, let's switch the angle. Let's see if I can get the back of my knees in on this one. See if my legs look straight. I think that's a decent angle. Whew. Wow. I do tend to talk, so I apologize. There might be one of you out there that wants me to editorialize as much as possible. There might be another one of you that's holding me to my accountability and saying, listen, all that talking is not working. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. Some days I'm going to talk, some days I'm not. I use this for accountability. I use this for a possible sense of community. And I use this for, like I said, primary reasons accountability, but accountability on two fronts. If this is out online, available to anybody who cares or whatever, is interested, mildly interested. And also accountability, the fact that, like, yeah, it's available, I'm accountable, but also accountable to myself. I can't do, let's say I gotta do 10 reps and I only do 9. Well, it's not just me that's gonna know. It's on, there's video evidence that I skipped out on that last rep. And then there's some times where I'm just trying to count, and I play drums, so sometimes I can only count to 4. And laughing at your own stupid jokes. Caught on video. There's evidence of me flubbing a rep. So it's pretty simple. Anytime I think I'm not doing good in a particular exercise or something's going on, I can look back at the video evidence and be like, yeah, you're consistently cheating that exercise. You keep on saying you're going to do 10 reps, but you're doing basically 9.5, or you're skipping a couple reps, or your count just magically seems to be off in a lighter way, and you're letting yourself off the hook. And then the other thing that I keep accountability with is I write it down beforehand. I write a script, and I stick with the script pretty much. Except for last time, I had to make some addendums to the script while into the second exercise, I guess. I basically said, cut everything in half, you're dog tired. This is morning. This is movement in the morning. All right, like I said, I'm gonna pretend this is gloriously wonderful, ecstatic, amazing, good stuff. And there's part of that there, so I'm gonna focus on the good stuff. 1, 2, are the knees straight? 3, 4, 5, 6. They feel like they are. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm gonna do one more or 2 more just for 14 and 15. Because I don't think I was going down as low as I should have on 2 of those. Good thing with the push-up, the spinny push-up things, is I can turn my wrists, which is kind of cool. I don't really use the turn feature, but it's nice to know I can. And I can go down a little bit further with these, so that's a lot of fun. And doing finger push-ups, knuckle push-ups, all that kind of stuff. I have a friend, I haven't seen him do this, but I'm guessing he's a badass for doing this. One arm is a little shorter than the other. So he does push-ups like this, which is, I think that's kind of badass, it's smart. And and it's just like, wow, what an awesome idea. So you're kind of getting, and then I told him next level stuff is get yourself on your single arm push-ups. I'm not gonna elevate my arms, but I am gonna try a single arm push-up just for fun. And I guess the trick with the single arm push-ups is spread legs. So, oh, what was that snap, crackle, pop? That was an interesting thing. I used I used another arm right there. Ooh, that was like a back adjustment. I think I needed that though. I wonder if the video heard that. That was like dominoes, just pop, 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 pop. Whew. Let's sit here and feel if anything's just weird. Okay, maybe single arm should probably be done with the hand flat, but that was, whew. Can't say I feel bad right now, just curious. Whew. All right, if I feel not sore tomorrow, I'm gonna try that again. But I'm gonna start out with the left hand first and elevate the right, unlike what I did with the left hand first this time. I think I'm gonna watch the video on this eventually, that I did the single arm push-up with the right and my left hand was elevated. Whew. A little bit of tension in the air. Let's just break that tension. That's a fun thing. And I guess I might not technically be alone, but it's not smell-o-vision, so, you know. I feel like I'm bothering nobody, but farting when you're alone is hilarious. Farting around other people, you want to walk away and then, you know. Imagine, if you would, a human being that has to fart a lot. And when he or she is out in public, they like to find people that are complaining and just crop dust them. Just walk around. And then walk away as soon as they're out of gas. There probably could be a joke made about that. But then again, are you really just, air shitting on people having a bad day? I don't know. Maybe there's a legitimate excuse for them. Like, subjective reality. Back to subjective reality that I've been playing with. I get cut off in traffic. Somebody's driving crazy. I used to assume they were drunk. I don't try to make assumptions or judgments, but what I can do is make a possibility. I say, there's a high possibility that person's going through something bad right now. They need to get to the hospital. I write them their own excuse letter, and I sign it with a high possibility, and I believe in those possibilities, and that makes me less likely to get all angry and weird and write down their license plate number and all that kind of stuff. What would I do with it? I think I still have pictures, and I should probably just delete those pictures. Pictures of license plate numbers of people that are just like, what? Let's find out who this person is and what their deal is. And if they're like this on a daily basis. Because I think almost everybody in the world is a jerk at least once in their life. At least if they live past the age of, 19. Let's just say 16. Live past the age of 16, because teenage years, most people turn into, well, I was more of a jerk when I was a little kid. I was probably still quite a jerk when I was a teenager. Yeah. Little kid though, a little worse. All right. Oh. Stretch out a little bit. All right, yeah, I guess I'm still on the warm-up. Wow, still on the warm-up. Air squats, 1. Guess I needed to talk. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, and then last thing is bends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Should have only been 6 of those, but whatever. Maybe that overachievement leads to less overachievement later. Who knows? All right, the official workout is beginning. We'll shut the light on this area. I already set up the proper weights and measures. Well, the measuring is going to be counting, so the measures still have to be done. Set up the proper weights. All right, so a little dark. Audio is probably good though, I'm hoping. All right, that is probably the spot where I'm at. Go ahead and put that right there. It's not too bad. All right. Yeah, it looks like I got those things set up. So do a breath exercise before the first set or start the breathing exercise after the first set. I think what I've been doing in the past is doing a breathing exercise before starting the first set. So I'm going to continue with that tradition if it is a tradition. I'm not sure if it is or not right now. Alright, this is going to be a set of 8. Let's get this done nice and properly. Get this properly done. All nice and proper. Or properly done. Four, 5, 6, 7. Here comes 8. Lower the weight. Then we got a set of 10 after a breathing exercise. Little trouble. Had to double check. I set the weight right. It's a little bit dark. Good news on the double check. The pin is in the right place. Oh. Now I could get my knees to bend a little bit more on this if I scrunch my butt a little bit forward, but that produces some weird tension on my lower back, so I'm not going to push my butt that far forward anymore. What I am going to do when I'm not doing this is just randomly take some dumbbells and squat all the way down, what they call ass to grass, and bring it all the way up with the dumbbells and not move the dumbbells at all. That's going to be my practice, because I used to hear going past 90 degrees was bad on the knees. So before, I used to have this thing set out a little further out, so I'd get 90 about here, or I'd get 90 degrees on the knees and bring it out. Now, it's at a little bit past 90 degrees, which is good. All right, breathing time. By the way, the whistle is breathing out, obviously, but, you know. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just let this down real slow. Before I go to the next exercise, I'm doing a breathing exercise right here, because I can. I don't know, breathing exercises and meditation kind of go hand in hand. I don't know if they're one and the same, but here is an idea that really blows my mind. Focus on your breathing without controlling your breathing. Anytime I focus on my breath, it's in order to control it a bit better. And I tried that yesterday. I first heard about it yesterday. I was reading a book. I've read both this guy's books. I think he only has 2 now. I don't know too much about news and whatnot, but I guess he was a reporter, an anchor, a talking head on TV. I think his name's Dan Harris. And I read the book yesterday. It's called 10% Happier, and I'm reasonably sure it's Dan Harris. And the one I read before that was a second book. And it was something about, it's a really funny name. It's, the book for people who, want to get into meditation but don't like it. But it's way more clever than that. But I was like, oh, yeah, that's a good name for a book. But the 10% Happier, he mentions this book and that other book. So I decided to read this book and went through that book yesterday. And somewhere in there, either it says it explicitly or it says it implicitly, or I'm hallucinating things, or my imagination's just kicking things to the next level. But it just seems like an interesting idea. Pay attention to your breath without controlling your breath. so difficult for me to do because I've reinforced the habit of controlling my breath so often. That's the only time I really pay attention to my breath, unless I am winded. If I am winded, I let my breath usually do whatever it does. But even in those states, gradually I've been into controlling my breath even when winded. Now sometimes that's just to hyperventilate a little bit, push it a little bit further. Sometimes it's just to push it a little bit further and then have a hold and then push it a little bit further. Push it a little bit further, hold. That's an interesting, fun concept. But all this breath work has been largely about control. Some people think I'm doing a meditation. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, I don't know. My definition of meditation is that, there's a lot of definitions of meditation, but one of my favorites, and this is not the one I made up, I heard this somewhere, I can't remember where, is meditation is the space between thoughts. Like, that is such a simple way of putting it. It is awesome. And it's kind of cool. It's just expanding the space in between thoughts. And sometimes that's a microsecond. But it's a lot of fun trying. And the more you try, maybe the better you do. And there is a certain sense of calmness and a certain sense of just being, existing between thoughts. So, gotta like that. Still feeling a little bit of weirdness in my back. I think the snap, crackle, and pop off of the one-arm push-up in there helped a bit. I think it's the position I sleep in. Try to sleep on my side, left or right. Try to turn over every 2 hours. That doesn't happen as much anymore. And if I sleep too long in one position, it doesn't matter what I do, I'm usually going to be hurting. But yeah, turning it. The other day I fell asleep as soon as I got home. So let's say I fell asleep, 5 p.m. to like 10 p.m. Then I woke up, played some video games, read a little bit, did a couple different things I had to do. Went to bed at 3 a.m. Woke up at 7 a.m. So that was 8 hours of sleep, and I felt great. But I broke it up into 2 pieces. Not the ideal, because you really, according to things I read, is you want your that last sleep cycle, that REM, to last as long as possible. And the longer you sleep in one sitting, one session, the longer that cycle goes. So 90 minutes to get there for a cycle of 2 or 3 minutes. 90 minutes to get there, then a cycle of 4 minutes. 90 minutes to get there, a cycle of 8 minutes. It keeps on kind of doubling. Your last sleep cycle ends up being like the 5th sleep cycle or 4th sleep cycle. And it ends up being like 45 minutes or an hour. I'm sure it's different with a lot of people, but that's pretty cool. So trying to get those 8 hours of sleep is kind of important to me ever since I heard that information. Is it entirely true? I would like to believe so. The sources seem credible. But I'm also, even experts and everything, let's just put it this way, I don't believe everything I hear. This thing should really be all the way through there. Before I use that bench, I should probably fix that. I'm going to fix that right now. Alright, there's the thing on the other side. Oh, that's what's going on there. Wow, I'm glad I didn't lay down on that bench. Why that's like that. There we go. Alright. Bench is a little bit more secure. Good old Vitamaster. All right. Next set's not actually in here. So we're on the second exercise of the workout. I've been talking too much. I'm going to switch my light source over to a new spot. There we go. That's going to be good for the leg extensions, which will be the third exercise. That stuff seems better on the ground. It was precariously perched. Anyway, the other day. All right. Notes to self. Hip goes backwards at least an inch. All right. Not making good time. So, did I do the breathing exercise? Yes, I did. Let's get to this. All right, got the weight set properly. Hips go back at least an inch. Set of 10. No, this is a set of 8. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A little bit of a breathing exercise. Shift the weight. You know what? That seems a bit light. I'm going to keep that weight. I'm going to do the set of 10 after that. A little bit of a breathing exercise now. Counting with my fingers. Hopefully, the reason I talk during these videos is so I can get these thoughts out of my head and not impart them upon other human beings in face-to-face conversations or on the phone. I watch these videos and just, dude, shut up. And the funny thing about that is I rarely think that about other people. But it seems like most people are a little harder on themselves. I'm gonna stop right there, and I'm gonna try to be a little bit more gentle with myself, and maybe you should too. I don't know who you are, whoever's hearing this, but maybe there's somebody out there that hears that idea, and there's only like 9 possibilities, so. But like. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like different people. I've only told very few people that I do this accountability thing. Most of the people I told, I don't even really want them to watch this. It's a bit embarrassing, to tell you the truth. I am embarrassed by this. Hopefully, it's been about a year in. Maybe next year will be the year of massive results. It would be a nice thing to look better, get rid of the gut, all that kind of stuff. But not be able to do that. That would be a good thing. Not be able to. But that's probably more diet, and nothing really much to say, but keep going, keep pushing. Yeah, that's all that needs to be said. according to my the last time I did the actual body fat measurement, I was at 26.6, which I think I've been as down low as 23 within this last year. I was so hoping for like a 13%, or then part of me is like, maybe that machine's not accurate. And then you look at yourself in the mirror and like, oh, maybe that machine's not accurate in the other direction. I don't know. Hopefully I don't have some weird body dysmorphic disorder or anything like that. I'm trying to be pretty, going beyond things, beyond my own mind or my own eyes, my own weight and all that kind of stuff. Using a couple different metrics to be kind of the level I want. And the level I want, the good news is I'm not trying to be a fitness model. I'm not trying to do anything like that. I just want to feel a lot better. And the good news so far is, yeah, I am feeling actually better from doing some of this stuff I do. Doing some of the breathing exercises and the weightlifting and the intermittent fasting. So all that kind of stuff has been coalescing to basically, for the most part, feel better in some ways. And who doesn't want to feel better? But at the same time, it's good to feel bad, just so you know what feeling better feels like sometimes. And the great thing is life has zero shortage on ways to make people feel bad. So, you can depend upon life to give you problems and things to feel bad about. So just don't get too caught up in them, I guess. Whew. Wow, I'm editorializing a lot. I went way deeper than I wanted to. This is highly embarrassing. I talk about embarrassing, and then I go ahead and embarrass myself. Amazing. 1, set of 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bent my knees a little bit on that one. Not perfect, but it will do. Hopefully, every single time on that, my hips were going back. I really want to be careful with that exercise and the weight. I have, when I was a little kid, I remember hurting my lower back, and don't want to do that again. I remember thinking my body was invulnerable when I was a little kid. All different injuries would get them, you go away until you do something. I remember snowboarding, and I hurt my thumb, and it didn't get back to good till a year. I always had that little twinge in my thumb. Now it's completely gone. Skateboarding, I think my ankle still has a click. But I'm not worried about it. It doesn't really affect anything as far as I can tell. It just, I remember hurting my ankle when I was skateboarding. And afterwards, I always had this kind of click in my ankle. Let's see if I can do it now. There we go, yeah. It just resets. It takes a little while to reset itself, but I never had it crack like that, ever. My right leg, ankle doesn't crack like that. But my left leg seems to always do that now. All right, weight is set. A little bit of a breathing exercise, and we're doing it. was going for a set of 10. There might have been a slight possibility I did a set of 11. I'm okay with that. Next is going to be a set of 12. But I might make it lucky and do an extra repetition at the end. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Gonna do a quick breathing exercise here. It's nice to be in that place where you know there's an opportunity, and that opportunity can provide tension. Let's say you might be asked to give a speech or host an event, and not a big event, nothing you're getting paid for, nothing huge, but it's there. But you don't know till the day of. And there's that kind of tension. And you know you probably won't be the best prepared. And you're gonna have to scramble before that event, a couple hours before to think of a few things to say. It's nice to be able to look at that day and say, there's so many good things that'll happen if that opportunity does not flow my way today. And then you flip it around and you say, but that opportunity is a lot of fun. And in certain ways it feels pretty good. Especially if you pull it off the cuff, you produce elements of wit, and are able to do it in real time. Either way, today's going to be a good day. I hope. For someone who doesn't like the word hope, I do use it a lot. But my kind of guiding belief on the word hope is, as long as you don't say it 3 times within the same sentence, you're good. You say it 3 times in the same paragraph, you have something to worry about. You say it 3 times in the same sentence, that hope might be hopeless. What does that mean? Think about the drunkest person you know. And just say, I hope he gets better because I hope he does all right. I hope he treats the other people in his life right. That's 3 hopes. Same dude. Not so much hope. I remember something I wrote as a small child. It was the first time I heard about alcoholism as a disease. And I didn't have the vocabulary for this back then. I should have said, well, that's very subjective. You're taking something objective and you're making it subjective. Okay. But there's probably power in that. If you think it's a disease, then you might treat it differently. Okay, I got it. And that might be better towards treatment. I mean, a false belief that gets you to your goal is still a useful belief. Sometimes I believe that when I'm driving, there's somebody out there on a mission to screw my life up, to kill me even, with their driving. And that makes me a little bit more aware. Where is that person that woke up this morning and had a divine mission to destroy me with their vehicle? It makes me a little bit more aware. It's patently false, but the belief serves my goals of being safe and still alive. And that's what kind of, I remember as a little kid, I thought about that the first time I heard alcoholism is a disease. Why would somebody say that? And I immediately came up with an analogy, because I was kind of pissed off about it. And I was like, I mean, as a little kid, I saw people with diseases, and this is me as a small child, so I'm pushing myself a little bit further. I think some different stuff now, it's way too complicated to really fill in 5 minutes of time, but hopefully this 5 minutes will consist of, when I was a little kid, I heard that and I thought, calling alcoholism a disease or drug addiction or any of that stuff a disease is like calling assassination an accident. I don't know if I still hold that true, but there is some intelligent sentiment there. I remember being a little kid, see people affected by disease. They did nothing to start that first domino of that disease starting. No culpability. Somebody, I think anybody who's maybe had their first drink, they probably have experience with some drunk piece of shit, and they're probably like, well, hey, I risk the possibility of turning into that person. Even if they have a 1% thought, just like there's a 1% possibility that I can turn into that if I do this. So I never want to turn into that, therefore I'll never do this. Simple logic. But as a little kid, I remember that used to really kind of get under my gears. Not so much anymore. I realized the usefulness, even, and I'm not saying it's a false belief, but even if it's a false belief that this thing is a disease, some sort of an addiction is a disease, using the tools to treat diseases towards something like that might be more effective than just saying it's a personal failing. Because a personal failing is kind of a downward spiral. Because anytime you're not perfect, anytime you break, and everybody breaks, almost everybody breaks, and the minute you're in that vast majority that break, you're defeating yourself to a lower level, and it's just destined for most people to be hitting themselves on a lower level. So that's why, that seems to not very work with conventional humanity. And most of us are average. Actually, I won't say most of us. It's kind of a bell curve on most things, right? So actually, few people are exactly average, but well, not very few. I guess maybe the majority is, if you look at that bell curve properly, divided up. 50% of the people fall within the 50th percentile. I don't know. Maybe that's the wrong word, percentile. 50% of the people fall within the 50% hump on a bell curve. Standard distribution, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I am going to worry about calf races. Single leg calf races. That's what we're doing. That's what's happening. I don't know why I'm talking about any of this stuff. Maybe I'm just a kinder and gentler me. More solution driven, and although I like ideas behind objectivism and all that kind of stuff, I'm kind of thinking switch it over to subjectivism if subjectivism works better. Whatever gets you to your goal, right? Well, as long as you're not hurting other people and other caveats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pump those things out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Breath exercise a little bit. Lower the weight. Hey, the right ankle did make a crack. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. A little bit of momentum on that last push. Not proud of it, but it's there. All right. Lord help me, this is a long video for a morning one. Goodness be. The last part, on the ground, a little bit of groundwork, why not? Nah, this one's single leg lateral raises. What is that? Piece of wood. All right. I'm gonna put on the ankle weight. Gonna use my dumbbells as a pillow for my head. They're surprisingly good for that. Glad my cat, before she died, a day or two before she died, she laid down on the dumbbells. And I was like, you're a strange kitty. I've never seen you lay down on top of dumbbells before. Can that really be comfortable? And the answer is, under the right circumstances, yes. These are the right circumstances. So, yes. So, thank you, Winks, for showing me that. Otherwise, I might have never tried laying my head upon my trusty, rusty dumbbells. Okay. Set of 15, then 4 sets of 5. Not much breaks in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit of extra stretch there by going behind the leg, and I guess to the front of the leg. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here comes 13. Oh, here comes 14. There's a 15. Lay my head down, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I got 2 more sets of 5. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wonder why I'm saying we instead of I. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Honestly, I'm feeling this a little bit more than I thought I would. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that is time to switch. Oh, goodness be. So, good friend of mine told me that the person not into video games, by the way, as far as I could tell, that the Legend of Zelda game on the Switch is amazing. So, being the little kid I am, for Christmas I asked for it and got it, and I was like, whoa. I'm afraid to play it too long. I've played it very little since I've gotten that. I think I've put maybe 2 to 3 hours into it, which in video game time, a video game like that is drop in the bucket. I'm afraid to. I'm afraid I will lose vast amounts of my life to that. Not ready for that yet. I remember going up to Canada, and part of the Canada thing was my grandmother, and she died recently. As a matter of fact, her birthday was within a week of now, somewhere right now. Maybe it's tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, I miss her. It's kind of funny. There's certain authors I want to learn a little bit more about writing from and whatnot, so I'm reading some of their books. And a book I found that I heard about and I just never really found. I found it the other day, read through it yesterday, and it was about a grandmother. Well, that's part of the story, but that was my favorite part of the story, the grandmother. And I thought about my grandmother a little bit, and like a day or two before, I realized that her birthday's in a few days. But, you know, she's dead, so, you know, her dead day was a couple months ago, so. But, birthday, death day, you know. It was interesting reading. The book is called Sam's Letters to Jennifer, and I remember, I only read it yesterday, but but I remember for years asking my grandmother to write or record some of her memoirs because she had some interesting stories about stuff. I kept on hoping that, she was preparing for death. She's like, I've lived long enough. Last couple of years I went to see her, I've lived long enough. And I still have one other grandmother left. They come in pairs, I hear. So the good news is I got another grandmother, but I don't really have the closeness I have with her as I had with my mom's mom. And that's okay. You can't be close to everybody in the world. Nor should you be. But I still hope that maybe somewhere in her stuff or something like that, I mean, all her stuff's been liquidated or whatever happens, I don't know, that somebody will find a memoir of some sort, audio tapes, whatever, it doesn't matter. And it'll be her life and her lessons and her ideas and all that. I know it's probably shouldn't even hope for it. I do miss her. Thank goodness I had her in my life and got to know her as much as I did. It's really amazing getting to know people that, as far as I can tell, are really, really good. Really good folks. I mean, I'm sure she had her problems, probably when she was younger and all that kind of stuff, but as a grandmother, quintessential grandmother. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty sure this is going to be the last one. I'll watch the count. Maybe it isn't the last one. Who knows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. Yeah, I think that was 4 sets of 5. It might have been 3 sets of 5. I'm going to do another one just in case. And this will, for whatever reason, even if I got the count wrong, it's going to be the last one, or a bonus one, or a bonus last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I used to be a big believer in if you still have some gas in the tank, keep working out. That used to lead to injury. And I think the longest I ever consistently worked out before that was like 3 months. I'd go 3 months, keep on trucking, injury. And I'd stop for a year, maybe longer, maybe less. And then get, bugaboo and like, oh, I gotta train for this. Okay, so, do workout, find my edge, touch the edge, go past it, whatever, play with it. Now with the script, I don't even play with the edges. I make notes on how I'm feeling and stuff, and that influences the next script, but I only vary it up by so much and down by so much, unless something amazing happens. And amazing in a good way, or devastating in a bad way. If something devastating happens, injury, obviously rewrite the script around the injury. What I should have been doing for 2 weeks is probably just doing these workouts, but with half the weight or half the reps, something like that. I don't know. But maybe I did the right thing by taking a break for 2 weeks. Who knows? Oh, I do feel good that this is the end of this. This end feeling. There's a joke in 10% Happier that I think he references an old joke, but it's the first time I heard it. The guy's bouncing his head against a wall, banging his head against a wall. And somebody asked, why are you banging your head against the wall? And he's like, because it feels so good when I stop. It feels so good when I get to the end of a workout. Later it shall be.